Hello guys, this is Agony333 and I decided to do another review today. Now, normally I don't do many reviews, especially not as many of them this quick in succession, and there's a reason I'm doing this review, and I was thinking, just thinking about stuff, and one of because I try to review disturbing films, ones that normal people wouldn't watch, or ones that maybe people would watch, but pretty much, ones that aren't well known, but ones that are actually, disturbing. They have, big, a lot of graphic scenes, ones that, yeah, you get what I'm saying pretty much. But one of the films I was thinking, was when I was thinking about this, I just had a cigarette, but anyways, while I was smoking, I was just thinking about what movie maybe I'd do next. And the one that popped in my head was the Human Centipede. I was reading something on a Serbian film, and for some reason it got compared to Human Centipede, or it was at least Human Centipede was mentioned, and that got me thinking about it. So this is pretty much a Human Centipede review over that movie, The Human Centipede. Now, I'll quickly summarize. I'm not even going to get into this movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, and there's a bigger reason than just reviewing this movie. This video is more than just that review. But pretty much the movie is, from what I remember, a group of friends, and they're driving, I think, road trip or something, and they end up meeting this weird guy. They end up going into this guy's house, and it pretty much turns out that he's a fucked up scientist, mad doctor type bullshit, and he wants to stitch their mouths to stitch one of them, their mouth to another person's asshole, and then a third person, so it's like a chain, a centipede, if you will. That's pretty much what the movie's called and what it's about. Yeah, he does that, and then, the person at the front eats, and then the fecal matter goes through each of them. And the movie wasn't that bad, okay? It's more ridiculous than it sounds. It was okay. The story was interesting because, I guess it's a new thing, so it was interesting. But the main reason I'm even reviewing this film, me personally, it's not even disturbing. It's not disturbing at all. Okay, another thing I want to say is there might be offensive things, to fans of the Human Centipede, and offensive things to people who found it disturbing or whatever. This is just my opinions, and this is what I wanted to address in this video, and it's kind of just to the normal people who've watched it, and in my opinion is that people blew this film way out of proportion. Honestly, okay? Now, please don't get offended. These are my opinions. My opinions don't matter. Agree with me in comments, send comments. Agree with me, don't agree with me, whatever, I'm just putting my opinions here. But in honesty, to me, this film was way blown out of proportion. Seriously, to any person like me, sorry, there's something on the laptop, but to any person like me who's watched a Serbian film, who's watched the Gaspar Noé films, who's watched Cannibal Holocaust, who's watched countless other films that are like at the top of the most fucked up shit. And there's probably even films higher than that. I obviously know there's films higher than those ones that I even mentioned. But the point of it is, is the Human Centipede, does it qualify being up there with all the others like a Serbian film? No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, but no, it doesn't. In my opinion, it does not. It does not fucking stand anywhere close to that. And I was really thinking of it. I was like, okay, what is fucking disturbing about this? It was sick. It was twisted. I admit that. Human Centipede was sick and twisted. But in all honesty, other than just being disgusting, and it didn't disgust me that much, what makes it so fucking disturbing? Saw, which is a huge, media frenzy bullshit that's shown in theaters and is well known shows a lot more disturbing shit than this. Honestly, I was thinking of that. I was like, okay, and I got my thoughts brought back to Saw 3. I'm believing it is, and there's a scene where like dead pigs are ground up, and this guy's like drowning. He's supposed to be, the game is he's like supposed to drown on these dead, ground up pig carcasses. That's more disturbing and disgusting than the whole fucking movie for the Human Centipede, in my opinion. I don't know if any of you guys agree, but to me it just kind of aggravates me because I feel like a true person who has sought out disturbing films. And don't get me wrong, I know there's ones worse than I've seen. I'm pretty certain there is worse films than I had seen. You know, I don't want to seem like some, you know, guy who's watched them all kind of bullshit, but I'm just saying, when it comes to those, the Human Centipede, I mean, I've heard so many people, oh my god, it's the most disturbing and sick film ever made. And it's like, really? Really? It's the most fucked up movie ever made. Ever. Really? I mean, question that, people, please. Question that. Is it really that fucking horrible? I honestly don't think so. But I will get on with the rest of the review. If you haven't seen the movie, I don't recommend watching it unless you're really interested in it. If you can find it cheap or something, sure, give it a check out, you know? I'm not saying this movie's horrible. I'm not saying that it's a complete piece of shit. You know, I didn't care for it, to tell you the truth. I was expecting something out of it, because everyone was like, oh, it's so disturbing, and then I checked this out. And I believe it was after I've already watched the Serbian film and all that. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I mean, I was surprised that even normal people got that disturbed over. I could understand them getting sick because the, you know, the feces and the kind of nasty shit. But I mean, Saw, which just came out before that, had a lot more to offer to it, and a lot more gore, and a lot more. And okay, so here come the spoilers. Pretty much, yeah, they're sewn together and they're fucked with by this doctor, and really that's the whole fucking movie. And at the end they struggle to fight back, and I'll tell you the ending, they all fucking die. The doctor dies, the detective who you think is gonna stop everything dies, and the fucking 3 people pretty much die. Everyone's fucked in that fucking movie. That's pretty much it. That's disturbing, isn't it? I mean, what the fuck? I mean, plenty of movies have bad endings, you know, as in, like, you know, the whole family dies kind of shit, like, you know, another movie I reviewed. But the point, and I mean, it was way blown out of proportion. Honestly. I mean, when you compare it, you cannot, to me, you cannot even fucking compare it to the other films I've reviewed. Because they didn't just have the gore that this movie lacks. They didn't, you know, they had a fucking story. To me, this it does not have a story. It has a very simple story. If you could even classify anything as like torture porn, which was I was going to make another video of, or anything like that about people, you know, gore hounds or whatever, people get into that. I mean, this movie doesn't have that. And to me, this movie was only made for people who want to see sick shit, because there's no story. So to me, it implies that this movie was literally just made for the fuck of it. It was not made to have a grand story and to have good effects. And I mean, what's the purpose of this? It seems to me that this movie was made just for the shit of it, and then it got more fame and recognition than it deserves. And the reason it infuriates me, and I hope, I'm trying not to offend people, but the reason it infuriates me is movies like Irreversible and fucking I Stand Alone, Enter the Void, a Serbian film, blah blah blah, I can go on, actually have fucking great stories to them. They have the disturbing shit that a lot of people look for, and they're fucking unknown. Practically, okay? I know on the internet they're pretty well known, some of them, but I mean, when it comes to people I've met in my whole lifetime, I mean, no one even knows the fuck Irreversible is. No one even knows what a Serbian film is. No one even knows any of these films I'm fucking reviewing, but they all know Human Centipede. Everyone knows a Human Centipede, because it's the most disturbing movie ever. To me, that's bullshit. Why does it deserve this much fame? Why does it deserve this much recognition for fucking offering nothing? To me, personally. It's not a bad film. I mean, it's unique. That's good. At least it's unique. At least it's not a damn remake. At least it's not some movie we stole from, Japan and the Asia, horror flicks that we've been fucking carbon copying and ruining the endings of. But still, don't some of you agree that Irreversible deserves more recognition in the market, in the media, in the people, than a Human Centipede? I mean, Irreversible, to me, has a message behind it. It has a meaning to it. It has a story that is very intense to it. It has effects, and it has emotion. It has, sad, touching moments. And it has, shocking moments that freak you out when you first watch it. And it has a fantastic story that is made by, a great writer and director. And then this film is just, the Human Centipede is just thrown out there, and it just automatically, everyone fucking raves for it. And I mean, not raving that it's a good film, but I mean raving that it's fucking disturbing. And to me, it's not. I mean, they're just shitting in each other's mouths practically, and it doesn't even show it. It doesn't even show it. I mean, to me, there's just nothing. It's just kind of sick. That's it. It's just sick, and it's nasty. And in my opinion, if you've watched like Two Girls in One Cup, that's way worse, because that's actually real, and it actually shows the nasty stuff. So I mean, there's just no fucking comparison to me. And yeah, I'm sorry for any people I did offend. You have your beliefs, I have mine. I'm just seeing if there's anyone out there who actually agrees with me and saying that this film, to me, and to hopefully a few people, it doesn't belong on the same tier as the other films that I've tried to review. And, maybe Funny Games doesn't deserve to be there either. I'm just trying to, do reviews over films that I thought, were in some way disturbing. And in truth, disturbing, it tends to, be whatever makes the viewer disturbed. That movie didn't disturb me, but it might have disturbed you. But when it comes to, like, literal, like, the top tier, if you can understand what I'm saying, to me it doesn't deserve to be known for being a movie at the top tier of the disturbing cinema stuff. And that's why it angers me, is, I mean, you can go on here and be like, what's the top 10 most disturbing movies made? And more than likely you'll see fucking Human Centipede on there. And to me that's fake, to me that's a lie, and to me that's a waste of some people's time, like me. If I was wanting to see something, and I was like, okay, what is new now? What just came out? What's crazy? What's getting people talking about things? So that way I can discuss my feelings on the movie, and so that way, I can have kind of like a thrill or, freak out moment and be shocked about something. And then you see Human Centipede, you go out and you buy it, or you rent it, or you put the time and effort to find it and watch it, and then you're just sitting there like, what the fuck? It's a waste of people's time. But, yeah, my opinion, that's all it is. In truth, the movie was okay. It could have been a hell of a lot worse, I admit that. It could have been worse. And I've heard rumors that the second one is actually shitty, but it has more gore to it. And I might watch that and do a review on that one. But to me personally, the movie got way too much publicity and overblown than it deserves. But I give this movie a review of 5 out of 10. I was even going to give it a 4, but I gave it a 5 out of 10, which to me is like, average or something, below average, whatever. Because this movie is just, to me, it's another media release to me. It's the same as the horror movies that come out in the theaters and everyone watches and giggles and freaks out about. I mean, I don't know if maybe I'm just different than most people, but I mean, things don't easily scare me, Things don't easily scare me. Paranormal Activity did not scare me. To me, that was a joke that someone could get scared from that. And I'm sorry if I angered anyone who's watched those movies, but really, I mean, what is scary about that? And what is disturbing about this? And why do people get so easily disturbed and upset by small things like that, and scared by things that just fly at the screen out of nowhere. Like, I mean, I understand there's jump scares, but is that true fear? Is that really a scare moment? That's just cheap to me when there's a thing thrown in the thing. And sometimes it works for a film, but I'm getting off topic. I'm sorry. That's for another time. But to me, the point of it is there is plenty of other movies that have more gore. Even normal movies like The Orphan, to me, has more gore than The Human Centipede. And The Orphan's a fucking great film too, in my opinion. The Orphan's a great film. I mean, there's so many other films with fantastic stories and great gore, everything you could want in a movie, and they're barely recognized, or they are recognized. But when it comes to being like, hey dude, what's the most disturbing movie you ever seen? And then he like turns to you, The Human Centipede, you gotta watch this, it's crazy. Just shut up, come on, please. Please, watch a real movie that is disturbing and worth a watch, worth a purchase. And when I say worth a purchase, I mean, to me, I gladly purchase Gaspar Noé's film and give him that money. He deserves it. He busted his ass to make that film. You know what I mean? He put, to me, in my own opinion, he put, you know, art forward. You know, his own art, his own message, his own meaning to something. You know, he made it himself. You know, if you can understand that. If you've watched the movie, I mean, the camera angles he does in his films and stuff like that, I mean, that's his unique thing. And he deserves to be rewarded for that. And to me, a lot of the films I've reviewed on here are way underrated. Because, I mean, like Funny Games, for instance. Fantastic story and a great message behind it, but very underrated. And I'm sorry, going on, you know, I'll end this video really shortly here. But the point of it was, I wanted to ask people, does anyone honestly think that The Human Centipede is the most disturbing film ever made? Does anyone honestly believe that? And if you do, you do, and maybe it's because you haven't seen the films I reviewed. Maybe you haven't honestly seen something that is higher up than that or something. And if you ever are interested, check out some of the movies I've, you know, mentioned or whatever. You know, work your way up. You know, watch something that might not be that bad, but something with a good story or something. You know, but that was pretty much the purpose of this film, was to quickly, you know, review a film that kind of agitated me because of how much recognition it was getting for the lack of effort. I mean, I even read the Wikipedia page, and I remembered that the inspiration for this movie was the creator was joking around with one of his friends, and he was joking around and he was saying, you know what, like, would be funny as if, you know, a pedophile, as a form of torture for, like, what he had done, would have his mouth sewn to, like, the asshole of, like, a trucker, and have the trucker, like, you know, shit in his mouth or whatever, you know, have to eat that or whatever. That's the inspiration for this fantastic masterpiece that we're watching. I mean, fuck. I know Wikipedia might not be the best source, but it's believable that this guy just came up with it on the spot, because what is there really there? I'm just asking you. Inform me, you know, tell me your opinions. But to me personally, it did not seem like the story for this was well written. The acting was okay. I mean, there's a movie I've seen that had horrible fucking acting, horrible effects. The effects in this movie were decent. They were good, you know, they were believable. They weren't just complete shit. The acting wasn't complete shit. It's just the story didn't even feel like it had a meaning. The film didn't feel like it had a meaning other than just a mad scientist fucking with people. It was just kind of like a thrown together film that they hoped they could make money, and they started like, you know, throwing out, you know, things in the public saying, hey, watch this movie, it's crazy, and then people, you know, believing in the hype and then getting it all hyped up and then making some fucking money off of us idiots. But yeah, this will be the end of the video. I'm trying to keep it real short here. Obviously I didn't. Sorry. Just comment, you know, tell me your views. tell me your views on this. You know, agree with me, don't agree with me. Everyone's cool in my book. You're all cool in my book. You know, we all watch movies. We all want entertainment. You know. So I honor. You know, I respect your opinion. You know, I'm sorry if I was offensive in any way. You know, my opinions are stupid. They're just stupid opinions. So just tell me your opinions on the situation, you know, whatever. I'll be making another video sometime whenever I get the chance. And I hope you guys have a great day. I hope that, you know, you can, you know, watch this and, you know, make you think about something, you know, talk to me about something. So, I'll see you guys later. This was Agony333, and this is the end of my video. Peace out, guys. Have a great day.